So, welcome back to another episode of Turf to the Terraces podcast. This is Series 1, Episode 8, and tonight we are joined by Kieran Wells, semi-pro footballer who plays for Basford United. You'll also see I'm also joined by co-host Scott Goodwin and Sam Howard as well. How are you doing, guys? You all right?
Very well.
Smashing.
Yeah, all good, Matt. Thank you.
Good stuff. Last episode we had Phil Brown on. If you haven't already seen that, the link will be in the bio. Check that out. You can also see our previous episodes as well with Brian Horton, David Boost, Neil Tooth, Richard Shaw as well. Other guests alongside that as well. So feel free to jump on and watch them. So, Kieran, first time for us interviewing a semi-pro footballer. Not going to lie to you, we don't have a clue where to start. So I think I'll crack this off by saying, when did you start playing?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to kind of talk about this stage. So start when I in like mini kicks and that in there, because I was originally born from Nottingham. So where I'm at now, Basford, I was about 10 minutes away from there. So I was born in Arnold, and then moved to Hucknall and went to Long Eaton, and then kind of Long Eaton. All my mates play football, so like I've not been diagnosed with it, but I think I have some sort of ADHD. Scott probably agree, right? And I respect. Just to put on record, I respect everyone else. It's not taking the mic. I just feel as though I have it. So I actually thought when I was younger, to fit in, I had to do what everyone else was doing. So everyone was playing football, and I struggled with my weight a hell of a lot. And I still did. I mean, Scott can agree. When I was with Scott Ilston, you know, I was a big boy, and the reason I'll come on to the reason how that happened. But yeah, I started football. And played against like your Greenwood Meadows and, you know, Pelican Colts and then your Dunkirks and all this stuff. And then one day I just turned to my dad. Like my dad, he was at Ajax Young Boys. He was at Long Eaton for a long time when there was in the University Prem, and he had a great career. My dad did, and it's kind of like myself. I got two boys, and it's the kind of thing that I'd want to see my lads come and play football. I just turned to my dad one day. Because I was just being dopey. And I'm not lying. I used to turn to my dad before we started playing. He was my manager. I was like, Dad, which way do we kick? That's how thick I was. I was like which way do we kick? And then I was running into my players, and I was.
Which goal am I aiming for?
Yeah, literally that was it. Because I was bigger than everyone else. I was clumsier, but I was always the strongest person in my age range. And like, I remember one day Greenwood Meadows rang my dad. And if you don't know Greenwood Meadows, it's just a hard place. It's got a good reputation, bad reputation. But my dad just says, "Is your son playing today?" It was like, "Why?" Well, we're probably going to forfeit the points because we don't want no one injured. Now that's the kind of like bad reputation I had, but I didn't know. And I just said to my dad one day because I was just doing rubbish. And the reason why I turned to him and said I don't want to play football anymore is because we had Long Eaton United B and Long Eaton United A, and our names respect that was Jim Fairley, who's still at Long Eaton itself. He brought me in, and he said I want you to train Long Eaton A. That was huge at the time for myself. And anyway, I went in, small fat ginger kid that they weren't really good at football, and then all my mates who'd been at like Notts County Academy, Forest, Mansfield, they was all sat in there. It was like a big thing. So anyway, we went in and he says, right, come on boys, get training. And then he just went, "Kids, just wait here one moment and I'll come back and talk to you." And I was sat in there for about an hour and a half while the other boys were training. And he kind of just did it to embarrass me. So my mum, yeah. So like for me at the time, because I have a lot of emotions on the pitch. But off the pitch, I really don't show any. I'm just like the happy-go Kieran, which you never see how Scott knows. And I kind of affect me. And my mum called me and she was like, "Where's Kieran?" And Jim was like, "He's in the changing rooms." So why is he in the changing rooms? He went, I don't know. And obviously mum come in and she was like, "What are you doing here?" So I told her. And like, my mum's got one hell of a punch on her. Like, she's had me a few times. Brilliant. I deserve. Put me on my bottom. And then she went up to Jim. Said, "Listen, you've done this to my lad. You're this, that, and the other." And when he speaks to him for ages, and then I'll turn to dad, I was like, "I don't want to play anymore." So anyway, I left football for 2-3 years. Still,
how old was you at this point?
I was about 10, 11. I was
okay.
Kind of like a crucial stage because obviously all my mates were progressing in the game, and then I made the decision to turn to drama. So yeah, no, this is brilliant. So I wanted to be on the West End in the end. I gave up football. I'm the West End guy. You know, this is what I'm going to be. Don't you cheat? This is what I'm going to be. So I did drama, and then one day I got back to football. When I come
Kieran,
back,
1 second. Kieran, 1 second. Is that why they called you Chesney at football?
No, it's because I look like the Chesney's dog.
Fair enough. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
Thanks, mate. So yeah, they turned. I said, Dad, I want to get back into football now. And then I went to Woodhouse Colts in Mansfield, and then I just got the love for it. Blah blah. And then I was at Blidworth Reserves up here, and my mum just turned to me one day, and like I took football then very seriously. So like I do now still, like, but I weren't going out on a Friday like I can go out now for a couple of cokes or whatever with my friends, but back then I thought it was terrible. Like I shouldn't do it. It's this and that. But I thought socialising on a Friday you shouldn't do. Right? I still stand by that, but at that time I was so like I just couldn't do it. So as I say, his mum turned to me one day and she was like, you know, I'll pay you to have 2 years off work. I was like, you know, I worked at mum's care home as well. She's got a successful business as well as the other owner, and she gave me that opportunity. I was like, so what do you want to do? She was like, go and join a gym and see how far you go in 2 years. And then within the 2 years I was at Blidworth, moved on then to I went back to Nottingham, which I've always wanted to do. I went back to Nottingham, and then I played Rainworth from the Evo Stick, and I think they were up there, to be fair. There was like 2 leagues above. I ended up scoring two or three, and like Ashley Kitchen was playing, you know, all these big names, which I could only like back when I was in Nottingham, couldn't dream about playing against. And then I played against them, scored. We lost 3-2. Connor Higginson scored the winner, and the centre half ended up in QMC, broke his ribs. Sorry.
Was that you?
Yeah, and literally the next day, Kev G rang me and he's like, you know, I want to take a punt on you, mate. You know, you look really good, really sharp. I was like, okay, fair enough. And he's like, you know, we'll give you, what was it, 50, 60 quid. You know, I was 17, 18. And I was early on. I was on £5, £10 at Dunkirk. And it's like, right, okay. And then kind of like, so from then to go to Rainworth, and then I went to Eastwood. We went, what's his name? Hawkins, what's his name?
Colin. Not Colin, no. Nick.
Yeah, Nick Hawkins took over. Anyway, went there, and then from Eastwood, I was playing really well. And then he turns to me and says, oh, Ilkeston's coming for you. You know, Ilkeston was in the Conference North at the time. And I went, right, really? It's like, yeah. So when I was buzzing for it, I got owed at Gaffer, and I said, yeah, I'm going tonight. If I can be brutally honest, fellas, you wouldn't think I can play football in training. I'm the worst trainer you can see. My touch is horrendous. I just can't do anything in training. So I'm like, right, I've got to go and impress Kevin Wilson in a Conference North, and I'll come in my World Cups. And it's like everyone else, there was like Gary Ricketts there, you know, and I turned up. We trained on the back, which you'll know, and I thought I trained all right. So anyway, we finished training. Now we walked onto the pitch, and Kev was just like walking towards his car, and I went, Kev, you know, I'm Kieran, by the way. And I said, so what do you think? He went, yeah, we'll give you a call. So anyway, we went back to Eastwood. They never heard out from me again. I was like, you know, I'm a bad trainer. Couldn't you just like got us a trial or something? And then when the chairman of Eastwood comes to me, he's like, you know, we're pulling the budget. We can't afford. I think I was £100. They can't afford to pay you that. But what we'll do is, because Eastwood's come in, Ilkeston come in, we'll put you on like £50, £60 more. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So I was like, loyalty. I stayed, and then a couple of weeks, 3 weeks went by, and it's like, you know, still on the same ways that I've shown you loyalty. You've promised this and that, but nothing was coming. So I just got hold of the chair, and I'm like, you know, are you taking the mick? You know, you're just saying it for so I stopped. And he's like, listen, I've got to be honest with you, mate. The club's got about 3 weeks left to survive, and I'm like, right, nice one. So I remember going back home. I was like to my dad, I was like, I don't know where to go from here. And then I generally, this is what I did. This is kind of where my career kind of went. I've had a lot of people saying don't say career, but I don't really know what else to say. For me,
we're open. Just say what suits.
Is that like I see it as my career that I wanted to do. Like some people say, oh, I went to this club and that club. So I went home and I generally just went and looked down the league in the Evo stick and the league above, and I found Belper, and I was like, I know nobody at Belper, right? So I got hold of someone called Peter Duffield, and I said, listen, mate, I'm 18, scored XYZ at Eastwood. I was coming for a trial, and he was the first person who went, yeah, all right. So I emailed Hensford, I emailed Ilkeston, and then I went to Belper. And he said, yeah, we've got a game Tuesday night against Ilkeston. And they had like Sean Tooten, Che Adams, Ricketts. And then I went there and we won 3-0. I scored a hat-trick. And the only thing he went, mate, superb. You know what? The only thing I liked about it was your passion. Like, you scored a goal. There was nobody there because it was a cup match, you know, and you went and celebrated it. He says, and that's what I love about you. And then from there, like me and Duff, we still speak now. You know, he's one of the best managers that I've ever had. Total massive respect for him. And it's a shame he's not in the game anymore because his experience was at Hamilton. And then he went to Sheffield United. You know, he's had a great career, and he was very honest with me at the time. You know, he mentioned, I remember one game, he turned to me, I think half time or something, and he was like, you know, you're not playing well, was it? Look at you, put weight on and all. I'm like, you know, half time, like, cheers, and then, but that's what I liked about him, is that he was honest with me. He always kept me grounded. But that was the point then when kind of I didn't worry about any other club, because I speak to the other day, I think there was like 8 or 9 teams coming for me. A couple from league above, a couple from league below, a couple in that league. And every time a 7 days come in, I just went, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah. And I remember sitting on the bench in Belper for altogether a good, I'd say 8, 9 months. I was just watching John Froggatt and Mark Ward, who was the ex-Buxton gaffer. And I just watched and I just said, you know, you got to learn your trade from these two fellas. Like, these are prolific strikers. And that's what I did. And then I found my own technique and everything that I want to do, but I incorporated those two players that I've been watching. And then I remember I kept Wardy on the bench like 3-4 games, and then Mick Godbill was like, you know, we're going to get in the playoffs, but you're not going to start, Belzer. You're not going to start. And I was like, okay, I knew I wasn't going to start, to be honest with you. Like, we needed Wardy. And then we played Hales Owen. That we were second, they were top. And then we went to Hales, and it was like my first game I started. And I scored 2, and we won 3-0, like in front of like 1,000 people. And that's when I went, I think I'm actually I think I'm good. I've never believed in myself. Never. I just thought I'm just an old-fashioned striker, can edit and kick it. I ain't got a touch. I ain't got a touch at all. I'll be honest with you. Like, my touch is shocking. But what I do is it's like touch and run. Literally, it's touch and run. You know, it's touch and run. That's what it is. But
just no first touch.
Yeah, no, literally, like there'll be no player that will run as much as I do, because I've always been told that hard work, it beats talent, it beats anything. And that's what I've prided myself on, because I'm not the best footballer in the world, but what I'll do is I'll graft my nuts off for whoever I play for, and I'll make sure that I come off there and I've given everything, and I don't think I change anything. Probably could have done more. I've said it a couple of times, I could have done more, but what I try and do is I run myself into the ground. So again, I'm not the best footballer in the world, but what I do is I've worked hard to where I am now due to hard work, desire, and passion, and believing in yourself, especially because if you don't have that quality of like believing in yourself, you're not going to go anywhere. And that's what I've always done. As many like at school, you know, everyone was progressing in football, and I was always the one that was picked last. I was always the one that was never good enough. I was always one in PE that forgot his PE stuff, and I just end up doing writing. You know what I mean? I was always the one that people would say would never ever do well at football and probably not do anything. And at the age of 18, 19, that kind of inspired me to think, you know what, like all these lads which were saying this are now living in Australia, you know, probably working in steelworks, and there's people that you know have just not done anything in football, but they was the ones that should have, and I was the one that shouldn't. And I think that for any player in football out there that is wanting to do well, you know, when I was at Blidworth at 17, Blidworth reserves, it's the worst standard, but I kept my same routine, and I made sure that I was always better the next game, following game, and I wasn't going into the same trap as my friends where they was getting into non-crowds, they was drinking, they was doing stuff they shouldn't do, and then you took your eye off the ball. Because I realised in the end that you can make a good life out of football. You can make some really, really good money. You can make some really good friends. And it only started to kind of realize when I was 17, 18. And everyone that's ever said anything, you see them liking statuses, like, yeah, well done, mate. It's like, I'll keep you on. I love having haters on there. Trust me, I love having haters because they see me doing well in something that they thought I'd do absolutely shocking in. And again, it's all about, for me, it's all about the passion. And I'm sure Scott would agree with myself, is that I'm not technically I'm not the best, but I'll give you everything I've got for 90 minutes or however long I stand on the pitch for.
No.
Kieran, right? I said before this podcast, Kieran's a live wire. Absolutely, he's great in the dressing room. Absolutely a character. We've just asked one question, and it's been.
I think we've lost 20 minutes, haven't we?
Honestly, but Matt, I said tonight, you are brilliant, Kieran, because you've got stories. To be fair, mate, I've coached you. You're putting yourself down a little bit, if I'm honest with you. You are better than you actually say. You've got bags of energy on the pitch, and people pay money to watch that. But the best thing about you, mate, you're a natural goal scorer. You'll always find the net. So for me, like you say, you are wild, and some characters and personalities can't take your personality. That's why you either love you or you kind of question mark over you.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Mate, listen, you're a good player. Don't ever let anybody else tell you that otherwise.
Do you know what I'm seeing at the moment? Like, I look at him, just talking away, the way he's talking about playing up front and stuff like that. I just get Jamie Vardy-esque off him. Like, especially now he's drinking a beer and stuff like that. Are you fast?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah,
are you fast?
Did you say quick, Scott?
Yeah. Mate, listen, I'm 43, remember?
No, compared to
Billy Bennett's fast to me.
Wait, what's different now though is like the whole game has changed and everyone's ability has changed. Like, I'm a 90s footballer. I'm an old-fashioned footballer. You get what you see. Like, I'll put my head through a brick wall. I'll get your elbows up. I'll be the worst centre forward that you want to play against as a centre half. Now, what I've noticed now is that this new generation that's coming through have all got six packs. They're all like streamlined. There's no one with like big shoulders, and that's what now, like, I think's helped my game a lot, is that I'm not having to do them. Of course, I'll do a 60-yard doggies or whatever, but you've got players around you now that, do it for you. And I can now focus on my job, which is getting hold of the ball, bringing midfielders into play, and if not, make sure that the two strikers are working off us. And I think that throughout the probably few years has helped me kind of come on.
What's that feeling like when someone's paying money to have you? It was
weird because, like, I went with Duff to Handsworth, so like my love was at Handsworth, and I loved it. I was with Froggy and had some great times, great memories. And I just went to training, and Pete was like, "Oh, can I have a word?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what?" He's like, "Yeah, you're off." I'm like, "All right, okay, cool." I'm going to that basement. I was buzzing, like, it's my hometown. I'm going back home. I was loving it. He's like, "But only if you are happy with the terms that they're going to offer. If you're not, you can stay here. That's fine." I'm like, "Okay." But throughout the time before the offer, he was like ringing me up, and he was like, I've got that much money. I can bring people down. I'll bring clubs down. I don't care if it's going to insult me with offers. I'll bring it down. I've got that much money, Kieran. You can sit on the bench. Like, you're just a business. You're just business, Kieran. Football's a business. You're a business. I looked at him. I was like, that loyalty and the goals and the kind of like success that he's had, partly was down to the managers and the two strikers he had. And I kind of looked at him like, the guy's got cars for every different day of the week, and he's got a massive business, and he's just got everything. Like, you go to his office, like a little kid, to be fair, he's got all like shirts, and he's like, I'm going to get assistant together. I'm going to get this together. Like, you was renting out Worksop Towns ground, mate. Like, give up it. You got yourself a ground. Jamie, Vardy, V9 come in. He didn't tell us. He didn't tell us at all. He just left it and then told me, like, I forgot what, like, after I signed the contract, he's like, "Oh, by the way, this happened." I'm like, cheers, mate. Nice one. That was like the turning point for me with loyalty, is when I heard that with, just a business. What I think now is like, I'll always go and try and improve myself. And I have, to be fair, I've always, before I went anywhere, I think about before I went to, we was on last. Let me just think. There was a last. I want there. Stalybridge. So when I went to Stalybridge,
absolute banter.
I went to Stalybridge last. I kind of I messaged what's its fair. I messaged Chris. I'm like, mate, you know, I want to come home. Will you do me? We can we set something? And I said, can we set something? He said, yeah, no worries. So anyway, he went, oh, we can't now, mate. We just signed Aaron O'Connor. So I was like, okay. And then from nowhere, they'll kill me because they need this kit back. Oh well. Stalybridge come in. Beautiful kit. Yeah. He messaged me the other day like, can I have my kit back? I was like, yeah, paying my last week's wages. Anyway, he said, get me
little dig, get the dig in.
Hold on.
Get the dig in. Get the dig in.
Kieran,
yes, mate.
Kieran, slow down. Right. We know you've got 7,000 tops on for obvious reasons.
For the last 3 seasons I've played for.
You what?
So we're going from workshops, blah blah blah, and then you're throwing in a little bit of a spanner in the Stalybridge. Slow down, because this is very good.
Yeah. So the Stalybridge kind of thing was I got a call, right? And I've never had it in football where you just get a call from a club that you're not associated with. You do not know anyone. That I don't think that happens in football. Like there might be talk before saying, you know, he might want to get in touch with you, or one of the committee members might message you, whatever. I just got a call, and bear in mind, I don't know the gaffer. I don't know anyone there. And he went to Kieran.
Who rang you? Simon Howard?
Yeah, him. So he rang me, and he went to
you like him then?
Man, I'm standing. So he said to me, he says, I need the X Factor, Kieran. I did go on that, in 2006, I told him. I sang Let It Be by the Beatles and got no. And he went, right, okay. Right, we want to offer you. And I'm not joking you. What he offered was an absolute joke. Joke.
Let's have it. What was the figures?
Come on.
Ah!
Come on.
Compose yourself. Give us it. Have a sip first.
Let me put the Vicks in my nose. So you're looking, there was expenses, all sorts on there. You're looking like 1,700 a month.
Wow.
Didn't score one goal.
You didn't score a goal.
No, I played 4 games, got injured, never heard from him again.
What did you go non-contract? Kieran, did you go non-contract?
No, he promised it. I don't care about contracts. They're giving that kind of figures at me.
Oh wow! So Sam and I have got in touch with you and said you want to be the big X Factor. You're the big X Factor.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
So you've signed the non-contract. He's paid you 1,700 quid a month.
I went down, met him, and he had an assistant. What an idiot he is! He was. I don't know his name. Is it Marine now? Is the Marine assistant from? I think he had was it Liverpool? Like Liverpool? I forgot his name. Anyway, we had a few bad results. Blah blah blah. Anyway, he comes onto the WhatsApp and he sends this massive paragraph, just chucking everyone under the bus. Like, I don't think half of you are worth what you're on. You're all like this and that. I've been Simon's best mate for ages. I was like, his arse. Like, you're in this together. Like, I don't even know the guy. Apparently was a pro. I've never heard of it. And he's like, you've done this, you've done that. None of you are good enough. None of you are this. Already, I was like, oh.
Alan Morgan?
No. I forgot his name. You'll find him. He's at Submarine. And I just looked at it, I was like, babe, what's for tea? Our assistant's left. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's Simon's best mate. That's the gaffer's best mate, and he's just chucked everyone under the bus. You should have seen the training. Was that? Could that Simon want it back? he's like, I mean, like, if you've noticed and everything, he wears a cap all the time, and he's like, he wears it, doesn't he? And he's like, well, I think he's Wales. I never heard him. He's like, all right, boys, don't worry, we'll try again next week. I remember at Gainsborough, right? So training room was awful, right? No one spoke. I mean, I sat there quiet. We brought no music. There was no music available. And I sat there.
Where's this at Stalybridge still?
Yeah, I was at Gainsborough, my last game.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was getting
All right,
changed.
sorry, go.
Yeah, I was getting changed, and like you could hear a pin drop. It was that bad. Anyway, went out, got bopped, got beat. Right. I got in. So Neil Bishop, who's played for County, he plays centre half for Gainsborough. So like, I'm side on. I've got the ball, and he tried to put his foot through my legs, but kicked my ankle. And I've gone over on my ankle. So I was out for 6 to 8 weeks. Anyway, we come back in change rooms after. And he's gone, you know what, one of them. Come on, boys, let's have it out. What's the problem? Popping on me. Says, all right. He went, what's this been matter? I went, I'll put some outside. Get ready. I said, problem is, mate. I says, when your best mate's dug us out, sounds great. I says, get a pin drop in here, can't you, boys? I said, no one talks to each other. There's no banter on the WhatsApp. There's nothing, is there? And we come in here, we don't talk, we don't do anything, we just play and go home, don't we? And the sound like, I don't think that's the problem. I went, what the fuck's the problem there? What are we? What are we? A good team? Is that, well, you know, I've got boys messaging me on a night, you know, and saying, sorry, Gaffer, I don't want it. Well, don't fucking talk to them. Right? so then, whilst I was injured, Dave, the physio, lovely lad to play, got a lot of time for Dave. Probably Dave and the kit man, those two are nice. The rest of them I never met. I was there for a week. And then he said to me, he went, what was it? I forgot what. He says, yeah, that's it. Our fee ain't good enough. And you know, we're going to have a chat next week about what we're going to do about all of you. I'm shitting myself at the time. All right? Because, you know, it's a mortgage at stake. So anyway, he rang. I was injured, so I kept updating him. I was like, mate, because you're in Manchester, I was going to Sherwood for treatment, and I was doing the, not surround sound, what's it called? Something sound.
Ultrasound.
That's the bad boy. Anyway,
surround sound.
Big difference.
So I went to Sherwood. I went to Sherwood and I was doing that. So I put a photo on. My lad went into hospital one night because he had cold. Don't ask me why I went to hospital. He had a cold. And I put a photo on the lad's WhatsApp. No one got back to us. Like, no one, no manager that spoke to see, are you all right? Which I'm not saying whether you would as a manager, Scott. If you've seen one of your players, the lads are going to hospital, would you message just to check in, see if everything's all right, or am I just being out of place to think he's been?
No, 100%.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So obviously, I heard nothing.
Would it be fair to say there's no loyalty because you do literally spend 2 weeks at every club you're at?
No, but for me, no. But from you know what, mate?
Nobody knows who you are, mate. You just come in, train for a bit, and fuck off.
Yeah, literally. Outside, you're right. Like Stalybridge was probably the perfect, best deal anybody could have been on, and you know, I should have been happy there. But for me, it's about the respect levels to myself as well, as much as I'm giving to them. So if not going to show respect, like, I don't care. I'll just leave. So then, after the 6 weeks was up, I turned to South. He's one of my best mates, and I just said, "Listen, is there any chance I can just come in?" You know, we didn't even tell Stalybridge that I was back. They only found out when they watched some highlights. And there's like, "Oh, you're back playing, aren't you?" I just put fuck off. Yeah. So anyway, I was at Sherwood for ages, loved it as well. And then we played Baseford the other 4 weeks ago in the cup. We lost 2-1, but I scored from halfway line. And I got a call a couple of days after with Chet. And I've never spoken to Chet, fair, great lad. And he just went, "Listen, we need a striker to come in that's going to kind of just give us the play. We need to hold up the ball and stuff." Because they've got the attacking force in the minute is unbelievable. But they've got no kind of centre forward, which I was happy enough to say, yeah, you know what, I can come in and do a job, which I feel as though I am, to be fair. You know, results aren't showing it, but it's coming.
Kieran,
I'm doing.
At that point, was Cliffy there when Chet's has rang you?
Yeah, so
he'd have played a major part in that then, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so Cliffy was there, but Cliffy obviously never messaged prior to it. But again, before I went to Stalybridge, I wanted to come to Baseford. Like, that's where, since I've left, I've always wanted to go back to. Like, that's like, for me, that's home. Baseford's home, and it's like, you know. And then I went back playing in Baseford, and then they come in. And then within a couple of days, I was gone. And So Sherwood took me to. So the owner won the Euro Millions. It was a brickie. He won Euro Millions, won 40 million. And he's got like boxes at United, Wembley, and I've been to both. But the day before I left, he was like, you know, we want to take you to Wembley, to United when they played young boys. I went, oh yeah, sound. Right, no worries. Yeah. And then, the next day, they sprang back and we struck a deal. And then I was like, right, Sav, I'm going to go like. He's like, the words he used was just like, oh, disrespectful and stuff. I was saying it in a nice way because I really like Sav. He's really, really great manager. He's done so much in his own management. You can't have nothing but admiration for him. But we're best mates, so it wasn't tough for me to play for my best mate because we took that friendship out of it. But when it comes down to like loyalty, we both have different views of it. Like for me, I want to do as best as I can. Your career isn't a long one, and I want to try and get as far as I can, as much as I can. And being at Sherwood, there's going places, by the way. Sherwood are going places, and with the right players, they can do. I was just ready to go back to Baseford, and whatever they offered me, I just
stop there then, Kieran. So obviously you've skipped a few. So we've gone from the first time at Baseford. We need to know what happened at Stamford, because obviously Staley Bridges obviously was there for about 8 hours, and obviously you've left. But we need to track back a little bit and say, listen, Stamford, you was there for how long?
Yeah, Stamford was probably a low point for me, not club wise, for myself, because I've never suffered with injuries, never ever. And I went through my first game, played at Kidsgrove, and I remember going 1-on-1. I had a heavy touch. And keeps come out, and I've got there first, but it was raining, and I've gone into the keeper, and the keeper's obviously gone forward, and I've gone into his knee with my coccyx. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. Like literally, I felt it just weren't good at all. I felt like I broke something. Like, you know, the shivers that you get up. Now I had that. I felt like sick. So the King's Lynn physio she went to in the end, she come up and she was like, you know, you're gonna be all right. I said, yeah. So like I come back on. Minutes later, I was like, it's just excruciating. Anyway, put my ice pack on. I'm like, half my back went blue. I was worried, to be fair. And then I come back, right? I was out for weeks and weeks and weeks. Played Bedworth, didn't we? I was like, right, boys, well as he's back, you know, number 9 up top, blah, blah, blah. Wore studs because I forgot my molds. Anyway, another story. It's 3G. And anyway, just about to walk out. And I slipped on my arse and it went straight on my coccyx. I couldn't play, brought me up. I didn't walk out changing rooms. It was the most funniest thing. Well, it wasn't funny, but if you've seen it, it was quite funny. It was horrendous. Like the gaffer, Graham, looked at me and went, you dopey fucker. I went, Gaff,
no.
Gaff, I can give him the birth. I said, literally walking like, I was like, sorry, dog, I'm gonna have to go in the shower. Didn't get a shower, so I didn't warm up. But yeah, that kept me out for another few weeks. And then for my other game back, playing against Belper, ex-pro player at the back, something Williams. Went up for an header with him, kneed me in the side of the leg. So I went and smashed the change room up, had to come off. It was awful. Smashed the change room, was fuming like. And then and then my last game was Cleethorpes, so I come back, and it was 1-1, and we had to win to get in the playoffs. And this is probably following another low point actually in my career. This isn't a low point, what I'm about to say, but he turned to me and went, if you come on, because he was out to a corner, and you score, I'll give you 50 quid. There's like 5 minutes left. I went, deal, get me on then. So big nose, my brother, he come off for me, and obviously tapped him on tip. And Brad was fuming. He's like, "Oh, fuck's sake, Gresh, what you brought me off for?" Actually, I'm all right. Anyway, corners come in. I've just put my fat head on it. It's gone top bin like that. Anyway, stormed off. Great stuff. Sherwood didn't know I played for them at the time. Told him I was ill. And then he turned around, got us in at full time. Boys, I promised him, here's 50 quid. So he gave me 50 notes, like, and then he ran me up. He's like, I know you've left. He kind of just got rid of us, and then he wanted us back because he had so many injuries. And he says, I need you for semi-final. We played Frickley. And I went, I had a game against Maltby Main. I'm shitting myself. I can't tell Sam I'm not playing, am I? I was like, I can't be honest with you. I can't be honest with Sam because he's got a lot of feelings. And I went, so is there any chance I can miss the game and play like my dad? Any chance I can miss the game and play semi-final? He went, yeah, all right, and go on, and I'll let you off. So we played, went 1-0 up, and then we got a penalty. And I've never took penalties, by the way. Never really took penalties. And what was the old skipper's name for Stamford? Robbins, was it? Ryan Robbins. It was weird. He was the penalty taker. And I just turned around to him and went, I'll take it. Like, the biggest crowd we've played in front of. And I cut the shit hole, which was prickly. And I just remember stepping up. And I didn't even think about it. I just went dead and I just smashed it. And the goalkeeper was at Bolton. He played for England under 21s. I smashed it. And I scored. And I was like, we were 2-0 up. I can't let him down in the final. And then this was to go up when Baseford went up because when they got rid of us. So we was going in the same direction. And then 10 minutes before the end, I've gone through one-on-one. Lino's put his flag up. And I don't know why. I got frustrated. And as the keeper's got it, I've just booted him in the head. Broke his nose, broke his jaw. Yeah, it's one of the worst things that I've ever done. And then I messaged him a few days later. I was like, "Listen, mate, totally unacceptable. It's that isn't me. Like you know me. I kind of just I think it was just that emotions and stuff which I probably haven't felt before. And I just kicked. I literally booted him in the head for some reason. And I was disgusted with myself, to be fair. Anyway, got changed up with Stamford's lot singing, hey, you know what I mean, all that stuff. So I was like, I was well away. And then we won 2-1. Then it got to the final, and Gresh turns to me, he's like, you can't play in the final. I'm like, we had Bedworth, and like my heart sunk. I was like, I don't have a lot of success in my career, and this was probably the biggest chance we had, and lost 2-1 to Bedworth, and it's like, I've got respect the club Bedworth, respect it a lot. But we shouldn't have lost. Eisen Christie scored the winner in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Lost 2, and like they're celebrating on that roof area where the stand is like 5 people, and like, that was probably the worst experience. Was Stamford for myself, but not the club. Club treated me very well, actually. But yeah,
Kieran, I think that's a really good place for us to, obviously, talking about the career. I'm going to call it a career because it is a career. I mean, you've had that many different teams to have to call it a career. Yeah. We'll stop there for the moment with your career, and I think it's a really good chance now for Sam and Scott to ask you a couple of questions. We've had some online. I know Sam's got a couple as well. So
let's do it.
Let's go for it. Let's just go for it, yeah?
Yeah, all right, Kieran.
Yeah, Sam.
It was smashing that, mate. Absolutely fantastic. I've got a couple of questions. One of the questions, it's a bit left field. It might have been asked. Should have asked you earlier to give you time to think about it.
Yeah.
But the straight away. So what's a week in your life then? What do you get up in the morning? What do you do? What are you doing during the day, midweek, and all that? What's your rota?
Well, I breathe. I get up. I brush my teeth, like.
Yeah.
I have a week. I don't have to sit down weeks. It'll take me to make me have a poo. So now I work as I used to have a nightclub and a coffee shop with my brother, and we made it was really, really successful. We've had that for 2-3 years, I think it was, and then we had to close it because of COVID, but it wasn't. It's because of co-op, because they're just not very nice. Cooperative community, they're not. If you're watching this, don't shop there.
I don't know if we could do that, but fuck it.
Sorry about that. I went on a tangent. So yeah, we closed that.
By the way, Kieran, I've come to your coffee shop. It was lovely, sir.
Thank you very much.
Is it true? Is it
too late, isn't it? You got me on too late. It's closed. No need to push it.
Yeah. Kieran, can you remember? I washed up for you.
God, yeah, we were so under, weren't we?
The markup on coffee must be staggering. I mean, how much is a cup of Shaka Khan? How much does a cup of coffee cost to make?
It's the 25-30p.
And they're knocking them out for like £3.50 for snarlers.
Yeah. So what I looked at, so I wanted to get into the coffee business. I wanted to get into the coffee business, and I looked at the kind of the graphs and everything like that, and what's making the most margins in the finance area and stuff. And it was coffee. Like, the coffee industry is making millions and millions, because to make a cup of coffee, depending on what roast you use, it's like 25-30p. But to be able to charge what I charged you had to do it right. It had to be perfect. So like I was like a perfectionist. I can do your roses. I can do all your florets and that. So I went on a course. I got my barista course. So I just made it right. But then
that's the side of ADHD, that as well, isn't it? Wanting to be a perfectionist.
Yeah, massively. Like I always massive timekeeping, literally massive timekeeping. I can't be late. If I'm late, I start sweating, panicking. You know what I mean? Yeah, very weird, mate. And then I went on that, and then I said to Brad, I says, I'd like to do something entertaining. That my ADHD can't stand just making coffees. I said, listen, I've got a personal license. I used to work at a cocktail bar. I said, why don't we apply for an alcohol license? And then he went, yeah, go on then. So we got accepted. No one complained. They're all idiots anyway around there. Oh, Jesus Christ. The amount of complaints I had, I would have blown my nose. Sorry, fellas. It's getting me angry. When I get angry, I blow my nose. Yeah, it's down there.
Yeah, big enough.
So yeah, it was a case of where do we go with this? Like nobody was coming. It's a coffee shop. Nobody wants to come and sit in the coffee shop. I get that. So what we did in the end, we played something called Bongo Bingo. So have you ever heard of Bongo Bingo?
Yeah.
So
yeah, my mate does it. It actually started off in Liverpool, didn't it?
Yeah. So we did that, and we booked up 6 months, and was giving away 500, 600 quid every Friday, but was making like 2-3 grand. Anyway, so so basically it was, if you got a line, a shot, there was rules to abide by. Like you couldn't call me on my name if you like did something awkward, or you made it awkward. Like if you needed to go for a piss or shit, then you'd have to take a tequila shot, or you'd have to do it. All sorts of different weird, wonderful rules. Every now and then we'd have a shot bill. We'd walk around just pouring everyone shots and that. So it was £10 to play. So we'd get the ticket money plus spots behind the bar. And then we called it Bongo Bingo to start. Anyway, one day we had a lawsuit, like lawyers ring us, and it's like, hey, is Kieran there? I was like, hey, how are you? All right? Yeah. So we are looking at a case against you. I think you've been copywriting the Bongo Bingo, I think it's called. I was like, oh, who's this? I was like, oh, this is the lawyers for the company. And I'm like, this is a multi-million-pound company, right? And they went, what we need you to do, we won't take any further. Go into your recent and your history and that, and just take off all the photos and just delete everything, and we won't take any further. And they just said, listen, we've seen your videos, we've seen what you do, and we think it's amazing. That we love what you do. Like no one's ever done stuff that you do. And I'm like, I used to sing, I'm a bit of a singer, I used to dance, I had a pole. I used to pole dance a lot. I did drama, I don't know what I told you. And that was like, and they just went, right, appreciate it, thank you. We'll check in 10 days. If it's all gone, we won't take it any further. I'm a million pound company. What am I going to do? I was renting off co-op. Yeah, I mean, it's £1 million fine. Lovely. What do you want me to do? Pay monthly.
Yeah.
Pay monthly. For the stadium, pay off in one. So anyway, we had that, and we closed it because of COVID. I don't co-op, don't shop there. And then I went to Warner Leisure. So have you heard Warner's before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm a comedian. No, so that's yeah. So we get all over the place.
Oh yeah, no, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right.
It's been sat quiet all night.
You should have a crack. You should have.
You fell asleep. You're all right.
Yeah, it's just nice to listen for a change. I mean, I get sick of the sound of my own fucking voice, to be honest.
And Scott. Yeah, so I went there. I went to Warner's, and I was like starting at the bottom of the tree, from owning a business, looking after staff, to doing the rotas, doing all your stock take, then just to pouring pints again. And I was like, can I do it? I was like, right. I've never chose a career after football. Like everybody, I don't know whether yourself, Scott, when you was playing at a high level, did you ever think about having a plan B after football?
No.
Kieran, we asked the questions, mate.
Sorry, apologise. Sorry, thank you for answering this. But no, I never had a plan B. But I'm an entertainer, and I can entertain behind the bar. I can do that really, really well. Like I'm brilliant with cocktails, I'm brilliant with beers, wines, whatever you need, I can do it. And within like a month, they just turned to me like, I want to promote you. And I was like, oh, brilliant, okay. So now I'm promoted to like a manager in the restaurant, and then just learning that trade, and then let's see where it goes from there. But we've got a wedding trailer as well, so we've still got a Kebra coffee and gin bar. So Kebra coffee is the start of my name, Kieran, and the start of my brother's Brad. So we've got Kebra coffee, and And we have a wedding trailer booked out 4 times at the minute. So it's like you can have an all-inclusive package, pay-to-go package. There's like people, I think we're talking to someone at the minute that wants in Italy. So we've got some people that we went to the NEC Arena. So we booked to go there. How expensive is the NEC Arena, by the way? Oh my God. Like $3,500 for the weekend. You don't get anything. Don't even get drinks. $3,500. We've got 2 bookings.
So we've got thus far on asking Kieran a week in his life. So
oh yeah, sorry, yeah. So yeah, I work at Warner's, and it's going well so far. Well, I'll go for a disciplinary next. I don't know why, but yeah. Apart from that, it's going well. Not been sacked. Up the Baseford.
Oh, fantastic!
Any more, Sam?
Go on, Sam.
Yeah, I've got another one. I've got. Let me think. What should I start? Pranks, particularly ones that have gone wrong, Kieran. Pranks. Yeah,
Changing rooms.
You must have pulled some.
There was one when I was at Blidworth. There was a young lad, and he just passed his driving test. And for weeks and weeks, he was like, there's something not right in the car. I said, well, let me have a look at your car then. I said, I'm going to have a look. And it was his window washers. So I pissed in them. And I needed a big one and all. So I was like, mate, sorted it. The light went off. So for like all day, he was just spraying piss all over his car. He come in the next day, lads are just laughing. He's like, what's up? Oh, where was he pissed all in your car? No, you fucking So yeah, this guy was spraying piss all over his car for a week.
There was kids I knew when I was growing up. They used to get condoms, put them down the the wipers.
Yeah.
So obviously when it's raining, it just fucking smears a load of fucking lube all over the windscreen. You can't get it off.
Oh no.
Yeah, they used to do that. So if anyone's listening, any young lads want to try that, check it out. Just don't do it to my car.
Yeah.
Moving off that prank a little bit, like it's not a prank, but like the scariest person that I've ever seen in my life is Gary Ricketts. There was a time was on our way to Tadcaster, and I got quite good friends with him. So I was asking questions and stuff, and someone turned around to him and went, "Shut up, you CUNT." They went to turn around.
CYNT.
Yeah, CYNT. So it's a house wine that we serve to Cabinets Avenue. CUNT. And he turned around to his dad and he went, what did you just say? If you ever seen Gary, he's a scary looking lad.
I don't like Gary Ricketts, mate.
No, he's like, did you just call me that? He went, oh, no, I was only joking. He went, no. He went, I dare you to call it me again. Go on, call it me again. He went, if you do, I'm burying you. I'm like sat next to him like that. Call it him. And we got to the ground. I don't know how long he's done it for. I don't know because I played for a little bit. And he went there in the first game. Before it was about to kick off, went in to get changed. I'm like, where's Gaz? Oh, he's at the bar. I'm like, full kit. Actually. What's he doing there? He walks in with a brandy. All right, boys, good luck. All right. Come on, let's go. Warms me up. Did that. I'm just stood down like, that's Gaffer's. You know what I mean? I'm like a young lad. I'm looking at a lad drinking brandy. Yeah, scariest fella. Lovely lad. Scariest fella. Just don't call him the C word.
Kieran, I don't like him.
You don't like many people, Scott. Well, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, I just don't like Gary Ricketts. There's a story.
Well, give us a reason. I'm throwing people under the bus today. It's your turn.
No, listen, mate. It's your podcast. We'll come back to that probably later on. But I'm not a fan of him.
He's dropping that one, isn't he?
Oh,
I don't like him. You got to tell us.
Scott,
I'll hide behind a microphone.
Oh, mate, Kieran very slowly.
I think he's turned his video off as well, hasn't he? Has he turned his video off?
He's right.
What it was. I won't say the club, but I was the manager there, and I think he wanted to be the manager, so he chucked me under the bus really. And the actual chairman was paying his wages. I dropped him. He was 41 at the time. He wasn't really mobile, obviously. Blah blah blah. But yeah, he was a bit. He snaked me a little bit.
Like a tugboat.
Well, it was like the chairman said I had to play him because obviously the chairman was paying his wages. Gary was trying to disrupt a few lads and make it a little bit harder for me. But to be fair, he was brilliant. So I was thinking, well, but then obviously you find out later on that obviously it's football. Don't get me wrong. He's probably a nice lad, but at that point,
how old is he?
Out of order. He's about 40, maybe 40, 41, maybe.
he was getting to that age when he was playing for me. So where did? Because I knew what it was on at Healer, by the way. So he got it completely wrong. So that I was.
Listen, let's move on.
No,
Let's
okay,
move on.
go for it. Go for it. We're not talking about
Sit on
Healer.
it. Sit on it.
That's
Kieran,
another
we'll
story.
have a chat afterwards.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
no, we're not. I'm exhausted. I can't. It's doing me in this. Go on, next.
Kieran, this is a bit of a left field, this one, mate, and you might have to think about it, or there might not be not to do with it. Have you had any mystical or fucking ghost type encounter experiences in your life, or mad coincidences when someone's just?
Yeah, there was one. So, I like again with emotions and that. Me, in Nottingham, call her Mama. So Mama died. Anyway, I went to funeral. I didn't cry. I didn't do it like that. You know what I mean? Like everyone's crying. I don't know what's. I've just got no emotions. Crap. Anyway, I like sometimes think to myself, like, no, I miss my mum. I miss my mum and that. Anyway, first like a couple of weeks went by, and I was around my dad, and literally all we had was Steve. It was Mama's voice, and I went. Like, Dad looked at me and went, "Did you hear that smoke?" Yeah. Like, where's Mum? Mum's in a fight somewhere, like down the road. I'm like, "Where's Mum?" You know, and it's like, it was the most weirdest thing. Like, it was Mama's voice. It was her, and I was like, you know, I don't. Literally, that's what I was like. I was speechless and thinking about it. Like, it's the most weirdest thing. Like,
Speechless.
I do believe in that. I do believe in it. I do. It was just until you experience something like that, you don't know how you deal with it. And it was like, shit. But yeah, that's the only weirdest thing. I don't know any other thing because
I'm with you on that. It's easy to believe it, but until you actually experience it, you've got to be like, nah, it can't be right. There's something going on, but I've still not experienced anything.
But I mean, I made good friends with somebody at Hensford. He's now in jail, actually. Anyway, to me, I believe in UFOs. Right? Don't laugh. No, don't. Here we go. Right. So, believe in UFOs, and I believe in that. No, I believe in like an afterlife. I just think sometimes when you're in your sleep, you're going, you blah blah blah. Anyway, that's me. There you go. Just thought I'd let you know that's why I believe in it. Cheers. What the basis?
Right.
No, you've got to. Yeah, nice one. Thanks, Kieran.
Absolutely freak. Have you got any superstitions, Kieran?
Yeah. Saturday morning, I'll get up. I need my haircut. I'll wash my car, and I'll get my bag ready. I'll get to football. I'll have to. I just sit on the ends.
Whoa! Hold on. You wash your car every Saturday.
Well, yeah, you tried driving Zills to it. It's horrible, isn't it? You know what I mean? There you go.
Yeah, you got a point.
It's that little dip in it. It's just a waterfall. So I'll go in there, like, and then wash my car, do me, make sure I got my boots. My car got nicked last week, so I ain't got my boots anymore. So I'm borrowing my dad's World Cups. Got them, and then what else? I have to sit on the end of the, and then at half time, I can't look down. I always have to look at the gaffer because if he looks at you, it's because it's you. He said like that. I'm like that. Is he fucking looking at me? And then I always think like if I'm having a good game, like everyone played football. I know Scott has. Everyone played football here. So at half time, you'll notice you'll like just zone out, you know, because you worked hard and you sat down. You zone out, and I believe that's when your game changes. If you're having a good game, don't zone out. If you're having a bad game, I'll try and zone out. That's just the way my head works. Like, I can't, if I'm having a good game, I can't just sit there like you usually do, because it's just, I don't know why you do it. You just sit there, don't you? And just zone out.
Did you ever listen to me then? Did you zone out when I was talking?
No, I fell asleep.
Cheers. Anyway, moving on. Best manager.
Hey?
The best manager you've played under.
He's already said this.
Peter Duffield.
Worst manager.
Worst?
Scott Goodwin.
Yeah.
No, Gary Haywood. Gary Haywood. What a farce. What a farce he is.
We'll get onto him in a minute then. So, you have got three
I hope he
people.
watches this, by the way, because he deserves everything that he is. Go on.
You've got three people that you'd like to take with you in the trenches.
I saved his job, you know. I saved his job, and all he did was backstab me. Go on, sorry.
Hold on, let's go. We'll get back to Gary in a minute. If you had to take three players in the trenches, who would it be and why?
If I had to be with 3 people.
3 players you
In
played
the
with.
trenches. Yeah,
3
3 players that you
players.
played with. So who would
Yeah.
back you basically? Who do you think would back you in like a bit of an hard time of a battle?
Yeah. Froggy, John Froggatt, who I was with. Great player,
Yeah.
great striker. Lovely family. That is one of my good mates, which I kind of took out of football. Who else? So I don't have many mates in football. No one likes me, Scott.
Scott Goodwin, I'd expect me. I'm expecting to be in the top 3.
I think I'm above you, Scott. We haven't even played
But
football together, mate.
Is it players that
Yeah.
have just played me or could be managed?
Yeah, managers.
I'm
Yeah, managers, yeah.
The
Still
only one that kind of the only one that related to me and kind of knew me better than the person that I thought was the best manager. The best manager, like Duff knew me from a young age, but to get to a mature age and they kind of see what you are and they know and they don't judge is obviously Scott. Like I remember the first words that he said to me is like, you are what you get. Like he said at the start, you see what you get what you see, and we know that you'll run X, Y, Z, and what have you. So the one gaffer that I've ever kind of just at a mature age that I've turned to and I understood greatly was Scott. Obviously, I don't know. It was a shame that he left because I'd love to work with him a lot more. But whatever happened at Ilkeston, I still don't know today what happened. Obviously, it was like a little bit of a keep low kind of situation. So it was a shame that it didn't work, and I could work with him a lot more. But then he ended up going to, what was that shithole you went to?
I've been to a few, mate.
No, that
After
crap
Ilkeston.
that crap one when you got me sent off.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Is this?
Me?
Come on. Yeah. I've got a video. I watched it today. Yeah. Wait, that
Did he do the Ronaldo wink or what? Was it on level with the Ronaldo wink?
didn't you go to a club and you played Ilkeston?
Oh, yeah. Wiz Beach.
Yeah.
Wiz Beach.
Hey?
Wiz Beach.
Yeah, that's it. The stand blew off the other week, didn't it? That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
So I was on a yellow, right? Head on.
Did you
I
get sent off?
can't explain yourself. This is first hand information. I was on a yellow. Anyway, the ref was awful that game. The ref was shocking. And the guy's gone to clear it down the line. And generally, I've gone for the ball. Like sometimes as a player, you're not going to get the ball, but you're still going to follow through. Went for the ball. I don't feel as though I might have caught him a little bit, but not enough to warrant another yellow. Scott's on the side. He's like, yeah, run for this, his little small fella next to him who I know that's going to text me and say, "Well, I don't remember my name." He was like, "What are you doing?" The ref was like, "Yeah, you're gone." I'm like, really? I'm looking at
Matt, when we watch Hull City, what do I say? The players don't surround the referee. If you can get in the ref's head. Mate, I got Kieran sent off like that. He won't even have booking. Just like, if you shout loud and it's aggressive, they kind of go, oh, go on, son.
Yeah, because
but we Scott, they do that. They go, where's that coming from?
Because because the ref though was that poor. If you remember, 5 minutes later, he sent the striker off the Roy dead.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, so it sent him off because
I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I thought you would. I thought you'd pass your mind.
Is this the little thing you had to say to him? Getting you sent off?
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like 10 years younger now. I've got it off the chest. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for listening.
Sorry for that, mate. I didn't realise.
Listen,
I'm in the top 3. I'm in the top 3, aren't I?
We move on. We move on now.
We'll move on, mate. We'll move on.
Taylor V. Amen. Thank
you. We'll move on, sir. Right. Oh, you've got to name another one. So there's me, Froggy, and who else?
Duff.
There you go. If you could sign for any other Step 3 club, who would it be and why?
Preferably one you haven't played for.
And there's not many.
No one. Generally for the first time, I'm generally not bothered about moving now. This is where I want to stay. This is where I want to kind of just see how far I'm going in my career at Baseford. I don't even think about. I look at the teams at Step 3 from the Hensford leagues, from our league. There's nobody at all that even interests me. Like even like Buxton. We'll get onto that. Yeah, it was just crazy. Like I don't look at teams and think I want to go to you. Whereas in Sherwood, I can be honest. Like They'll be angry at me, but I'll look to Basement. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go. If I was going to any club, I'd love to go back to Basement. Yeah, and that's just the way. That's just the way it was. And now I'm there. Like, they put 7 days in for me, Mrs., who's now she's come to us, so transfer. Never known of that. 7 days in for physio, but she's now at Basement. And I'm just happy now. I'm settled. Like, literally, I don't want to leave any. I don't want to leave unless I get sacked.
Yes.
Did you go to Sherwood just solely for the money?
Solely for the money.
I'll tell you why. There's reports that you was on 350 quid a week at step 6. I think it is step 5. Step 6, step 5.
Yeah, it was not. Like, it was one of them. Like, I was at which club was I at? I think that's it all, but I was at step 4. Where was I at? Christ, let me scroll. No, I was at a club. I can't remember. I was somewhere, and like, I said to him, I said, like, you want to? They've got a plan in place that they want to get to step 3, step 4. Like, you have to do that by getting players of that caliber at the club at step 6 or 5, and make sure that they're going to progress the squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've come in. I said, listen, I'm not sacrificing money, etc. I said, but what I've worked hard for to get to a level, I'm going to come down and help you get to that level. So we had a 18-monther in place, and everything was right. Obviously, I can't talk about finances because I do have a lot of expenses, and a lot of my friends that play there that are still there will watch this. But there was a problem where the renewal date come up, and the owner was, I think he said, like, you know, they wanted to change a few things, and I was like, that was their first contract they ever give out, Sherwood, and I was happy there, you know. Hence would come in, and they wanted, I think they're asking price like $5,000 to get me off the contract. I don't think we were going to pay that. We just come out of the pandemic, so like the money in football was kind of low. So I was supposed to contend, so we sorted the deal out, and then it kind of fell through with last month of the pre-season starting. So I was doing myself. I was like, you know, I'm happy here now. I'm a Sherwood player. No need to panic. So then South rang us up. They said, this is the issue. This is the problem now with yourself. This is what we need to do to make this agreement go ahead. I just didn't accept it. I was like, you got to understand that I'm giving myself to the club for the plan they had in place, and for they have an unbelievable squad, by the way. And I said to him, I says, you don't need players like myself at this club. You don't need players at all. They have the quality of players they have at that club is unbelievable, and they've got it spot on. So I can't turn around and I can't say you need a Kieran Wells, you need a let's say Danny Glover, or you don't need players of that caliber at that level, because you have the ability and talent to go further with what you've got. And it was just an easy decision for me to say no, and then I just pushed a move to Ensford.
But Kieran, you know, because you won't mind me saying this, because she was at that lower level, did you feel like you put a little bit of weight on that at that period of your career?
Yeah, obviously you won't know this. A couple of friends do, but I went through a bad period of mental health, and I turned to drugs. I turned to drink. I kind of just lost who I was. I kind of just lost who Kieran was. Like, you could speak to me and I'd be like this, but I'd go home and I'd just be a mess, and I'd just be weird. Like, it's one of them, like you'll know, Kieran's Kieran. He's a happy go lucky lad. Never sad, never this, you know. But again, because my emotion, I never open up. And you just come to a point where, like, I was sitting at home doing stuff, and, you know, spending loads and loads of money. And I remember like putting 2-3 stone on, like, the heaviest. I was a big lad. And then my missus, she come in, and she kind of just turned my life around. She was like, you know, you need to do this or I'm not staying. I was like, you know, I love it to bits. So I was like, right, so I need to choose. For the sake of herself and my kids. And then we went on a keto diet. Jesus Christ, that was horrendous. And we went on that waking up shaking every morning, and we did it for a month, no drink, no anything. I lost like a stone and a half, maybe 2 stone, was just doing it right. And then I got to a point where I am now, but mentally I'm stable again. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. Instead of like just coming home and just having no plan, apart from thinking about things that I want to do. It was it. I had no suicidal thoughts or anything like that. It was just a case of like,
Constant low mood.
Yeah, if you've never been through like mental health, I remember like it was so stereotypical when I was growing up. I was like, man up, grow up, you know, you fucking get over it if you're sad, blah, blah. You know, a couple of people maybe still be like that. But through what I've been through, it's quite important to kind of just get that message out there to say, you can be in that low place, but it took, you know, it took myself to realise that I needed to say something. You know, I went through, I called counselling and stuff like that. You know, I did that off my own back, but a lot of people won't. You know, so that's why we always say checking on a mate, checking on whoever. So yeah, that was the reason really for the weight gain. But it was like Ilkeston.
So Kieran, obviously, what Matt again? You know, how often was you taking? What type of drugs were you taking? How often was you doing it? Was it affecting the game? Was it affecting your training? Did you still turn up? You know what?
Yeah, massively. Like I was
because...
like again, I'm not afraid to talk about it. I was doing class A drugs, and it was just one of them. You know, it affects your game because you're up all night. You don't really focus on football, and before we went downhill. And you know, Sav, he was telling me, you know, you look fucking awful. You look this, you look that, and I'm like, completely agree. But I never did about it. Because I was kind of just, that was the routine. That was my routine. That was just the norm. That was me doing what I do. And
so did you drink on the Friday?
Yeah, yeah, massively. Really? Yeah, drinking on a Friday, and I never did it at Ilkeston. It was kind of, I lost my family. So like family unit went, and I was left with this house. And I was coming home after work to an empty house, and it was just like walking in and it's empty, and it's like, no, my kids should be in. You know, I wasn't in love with my ex-partner, but it was the kids that I missed the most. And I struggled massively to understand how I need to feel. I feel really good now. I'm in a great place. I was sorting everything out. Me and my ex are like best mates. We're great with each other. If I have a day off, I can go round. I can spend as many hours I want around there. You know, with great friendship. Partner understands. She's great with it. I just struggled to understand, like, I'm probably going to miss a few milestones in the kid's life. Yeah. But at the same time, if I keep doing what I'm doing, like trying to go around all the time, trying to go and see them, the kids will just be confused. The kids need to understand, and now they do. But yeah, that was the reason for the kind of the breakdown, was trying to understand how I need to feel around everyone, even though I'm missing my kids. Because like, my family are all together. Like my mum and dad are together. You know, my mum and granddad's always been together. This is the first break with the family that's ever happened. So, like my dad's old school. He's like, you know, why don't you go and pick the kids up? You know, you've seen them at the weekend. But that's just my dad. Like, okay, I say to him, like, okay, I want to see the kids then. You know. But that's just a case of they've never been in that position, you know. And my partner, she's never had kids. This is the first house she's moved from, so she's doing unbelievable, by the way. Great stepmom now to my kids, and she's helped us massively helped us. So no, I'm
so
where
Kieran, how long was you on this like drugs and alcohol binge?
Ages. So probably past 6 to 8 months, I'd probably say. Really? Massively, wow. Mate, massively. Like spending hundreds and hundreds a week, like horrendous. Like I'd go to football just for the wage, just so I know what I can get. And that's the position I was in, and like I would never ever been in that position before. And I didn't understand what to do, even though I wanted to. Like I was always saying, like, this is the last time. This is the last time. You know, this will be the last time. It's never the last time. And
to be fair, mate, I've known you a few years, and fair play to you saying that and coming out. To be honest with you, because not many people would, and a lot of people would keep that inside, and you know that's like a demon in itself. And for you to talk to me and Matt and Sam, fair play to you, pal. Really, honestly,
it's nice. It's nice to see the two sides. Obviously, with the funny, the erratic. There's so many buzzwords you can use about it. It's nice to see the other side of it as well.
Yeah, my best times throughout the week would be on a Saturday. I'd be able to get through everything from 1:30 till 5. I got through everything. It was fine. That's what I enjoyed. And it's kind of like on football too much. I need to focus on a career as well. I need something in the week to focus on. So I'll focus on a career in Warner's, and then just progress from there. Now everything's good.
Mate, I genuinely think you just misunderstood. I really do, because when you sit down with yourself, mate, and you have listen, mate, you're always going to be wild. We get that. That's a part of your personality. But when you actually open a few layers up, you're a lovely kid, mate. You do a lot for charity. You do everything. But these people don't see that side of you. And that upsets me, really, because you are such a nice lad. It's unbelievable. And I'm hoping now, when this goes out, mate, I hope people do change their mind about you. I really do.
Would you say?
Because you're honest. You're honest as well, though. Because the thing is, mate, sometimes honesty goes a bit brutal. It's not brutal. You're just being honest. So that, for me, again, is a big milestone, because you're just saying how it is. And some people don't like that.
Would you think it's fair to say, with the energy you've got, I'm going to say it, the drama background, you're guilty of liking an audience? So maybe when you're in the changing rooms, you play up to those around you?
Yeah, massively. Massively. I think there's not a lot of players like me in football and in the changing room, and you'll be very surprised how successful a club can be with a Kieran Wells in the changing room. You can have the best players in the world, but with a bad morale, you won't create anything. And if you need that one person to create an atmosphere, a character, you look for players like myself. And that's why I know that I am at this level, because I ain't technically the best, but I'll give the gaffer everything. I'll create a brilliant atmosphere in the changing room. I never moan, I never groan, I never chat back. Always accept what the gaffer says. Whereas now you kind of get generations that want to chat back, want to do this. Go and play football. If you're being told that you're shit, take it. So, it's football. They don't go out. They don't go out into the bar after and talk about you. Your friends, you have a pint every day. That's football.
I'm going to say this. So for me, I've probably played at, I'm going to call it step 15. So I've not played at a decent level, mate. I've not.
That's the reserves as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I get on the bench for him. So, but that to aside, for me to try and understand this and put it in a context I understand, I'd put you down as like a Dean Windass to me.
Yeah.
You know, the guy in the changing room was probably the Bullards, the Dean Windass, the guys that are just happy to have a laugh. And, you know, towards the later stage of Dean Windass's career, he was just in the changing room. You know, they put him on the bench every game just so he'd be in the changing room, you know, but he gets to 39, 40. But
sorry, one more thing. The thing is, with me, like, if you see me at football, you see me at training, you see me before the match starts, you think, class clown, shit, yeah. But I want them 3 points as much as anybody in that changing room, and I want to make sure that we win, and I'll give everything that I possibly can to everything. And then people see you running around, making them runs that no one wants to do in the corners, try and get a corner. That's me as a player. I won't do 100 step overs. I won't score 30-yard worldies. But I'll be that one person that heads through a brick wall. I'll be that one person that gets knocked out. That's that player.
So we've had Tufi on before, and Tufi was talking about fines he used to bring in. One of the ones I think I remember was everyone got a little duck. Is that right, Scott? And if you didn't take your rubber duck into the shower, you got fined. I want to know before we move on to Ensford, because we're going to move on to the next. I want to know what sort of weird or strange fines have been in clubs that you've played in, and which ones have tripped you up.
We got fined actually. Sherwood, shagging the player's missus.
That's an actual fine.
Yeah, so on the goalkeeper at Sherwood took my missus in car light. Yeah, wanker. Maybe see
what's his name?
What? Josh Turton.
Josh Turner.
Josh Turton.
Oh, Turton.
Yeah, teacher.
He slept with your missus?
No, he goes cock out with her in a car, and she'll pissed as a fart.
And what did it? What was the fine for that? Other than a black eye.
50 quid.
50 quid?
Sorry, it's expensive, isn't it?
Not really.
Oh.
No, I just signed that deal, so I'm just like, I'll take it as well. She was going.
What a dick! What a dick!
It was one of them. I say Mrs. I say Mrs. was kind of broke at the time, but yeah, she come. I want to just put that in the thing because they missed it downstairs, and I didn't want to get confused altogether. Don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm explaining myself. To be fair,
but hold on. So after that happened, how was the dressing room after that then?
Oh, it was awful. Everyone knew. I ignored him. Didn't shake his hand. Didn't look at him. I made it as awkward as possible. Yeah,
we've opened something up here. So, did he tell you, or how did it come out?
Have a
We
smell,
found-
man.
found-
No
found
euphemisms there.
We found my ex-missus on floor like down road.
Found her on the
she-
floor.
Yeah, she was on neutral bladder. She was on the floor like, and then so I said, "What's happened?" He's like, "Oh, you know, he took me some fags," and he goes cock out. I'm like, "Sound okay, sound." He's got a missus as well. Oh, she sees this. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
We'll tag him. We'll tag him.
Yeah, they just got rid of him last week. Shit and all. Prick.
Wow. You know what? I'm stunned because after stuff I'm not. Well, that's brilliant. Carry on. Right, let's get to Ensford because you had 2 spells there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your first spell, obviously.
First ball was good. Gary Haywood brought me in from Spalding, and I just went straight away like the ground. Like, I've never played at a big stadium before. You know, always played with dog shit on pitch. So I went there. Kind of, I think I played. What was it? So they were 6th to bottom when I come, and I think we ended up like 10 points off playoffs. I think I scored like 15 goals in 10 games. Anyway,
Nice going. Nice going, huh?
Cheers. Oh, my head. Can't kick. And then he went to Gaz was like, yeah, you know, we'll resign you. We'll put you on a little bit less. Cheers. And then we had a gaffer, Nicky Eden, a great gaffer, unbelievable gaffer, ex-Barnsley lad. And
Yeah, I know him well, mate. Yeah.
the word around was that Gaz was about to backstab him, and he told him to say that he wants 400 quid a week. Nick did, and he knew he wasn't going to get it. So Nick went into this meeting, asked for it. The chairman was like, "Hold on, Nick, I can't give you that." He's like, "I tell you what, then get rid of him and pay me his wage and my wage, and I'll do it." Biggest shit out that I know. Biggest shit out. And
Who was that? Who said that? Gary?
yeah, that was the word around. That was the word around.
Wow.
Yeah. And then weirdest guy, all he says is in the team talk is, "Don't want to do it, I'll get rid of you." Wardy, what do you think? You know what I mean? Like, that's all he says. All he says, you know. And I loved the first spell, loved it. Unbelievable, like, people I met. You know, Terry, Matt, can't do enough for the club. Obviously Eve, who we now met at the club, and it was just Gary, absolutely acid. Like, people in Nottingham can't believe that he's even managing. Like, I'm from there. People laugh when you talk about it. Yeah. And
So his first spell he was all right with you, and then the second spell he's kind of changed.
No, right? it was a first spell that he got rid of as Price, the old chairman. He's a
Steve Price, yeah.
Steve Price, yeah. He was cutting the budget because he was there for paycheck, like, and he was selling up anyway. Went out the FA Cup and he just went off to Barbados somewhere. I don't know where he went. And then Gaz was like, he rang me up. He goes on, what was I on there? I was on 300 quid there, like probably earning about 80 quid after travel, going up to Ensford. He's like, you know, we need to cut you down to 150 quid, like. So that's one training session. That's 50 quid. You know what I mean? I'm like, weighing it all up. I was like, no, I can't do it. So if you don't accept it, you got to go, mate. And I just went, you know what, mate? I said, everything I've done for you. I said, just easy targets that he wants to hit for. He come for me. You know, I'd pick him up from his house, even though that he's half hour away. Yeah, I can't drive. I've got something wrong. Well, that's not my problem. You know, he used to talk about the players, saying how shit they are. Then he gets straight in. He's like, "Hey, boys, you all right?" You know, he used to just hate on everyone. He used to he's going next week. He's going, he's crap. Then he started.
Any examples? You drop any names?
He ate Foxy, right? Perfect example. Foxy was at Buxton. That hated him because of one reason, because he won't buy a Diet Coke in the bar afterwards. You're fucking greedy. All you're doing is just fucking taking money. I remember on the way, we went to get the bus up to Nantwich. Anyway, I'm sat next to Gats. Gats is driving. Fox is in the passenger seat, and I'm next to Gaz. Peter Griffin. And he was talking, like, I think Foxy went a bit banter. He's like, "Oh, well, you're getting the beers in after, Gaz." And like, he went, "You know what, you greedy cunt." He goes, "I've got every right to knock you out." He's going, Gaz, pull his car over, I'm going to knock him out. I'm like, oh, fucking God. Then benched him. One of our best fullbacks benched him because he won't buy Diet Coke.
Does he hold grudges then? I take it.
No, he's clueless. There's no grudges. He's just clueless. No,
Sick as fuck.
he's had good people around him. He was a kit man at Nuneaton before he went to Ensford. How'd you go from kit man to gaffer? Do you know what I mean? How is that even possible? How do you do that? And then he come in. I remember the start of the season when I come in for the second spell before I went to Grantham. He rang me up on the Friday. Yeah, mate. Yeah, not looking good. You have to look for another club. Told me a day before I'm starting. I went, Gaffer, I was like, start the season tomorrow. I've got low stuff at home. You have to look for another club. We'll be able to pick me up like tomorrow. I said, yeah, right. You can come back. You're starting. Like that's him. That's him in the team. Like that's him in the team. And like, you know, you might want to get hold of South. You might want to get hold of South.
Kieran, obviously, you know the first spell that when you left then. What did the fans know? Did the fans know this was going on, or
fans didn't know anything? Fans won't know anything until this gets released. Like there was, especially the Nicky Eden situation, that's going to blow up. You know, I think Terry Mack, the chairman, was deceived by him. Gaz was pulling wool over his eyes, even though, you know, there was. I mean, the budget was massive, and you know he was bringing in players on big money, and the budget wasn't there, so he was pulling players' wages down and getting more players in, and I think Terry Mack was just overwhelmed, to be fair, by Gaz, and then he's just acid. And then when I seen that, I was good for Wardy. I mean, I spoke to Wardy on why they got sacked, and it's the biggest farce going. You know, they booked the holiday before they went away. And because they got to the FA Cup, it was a problem then. They got rid of Gaz. Not bothered about Gaz. Don't really give a shit they got rid of Gaz. I'm more bothered about Wardy, to be fair, because he's worked hard to get there. Gaz is a kit man.
So I'm assuming then the players didn't obviously play for Gary. They just played for the money, because obviously there's no real bonding.
No, they played for the club. And I remember at one point, Gaz was near the end of his time, he was going to Buxton, and we was all aware that we was going to Buxton. And he said something in the change room, and Bales, who just left, stood up. He said, "You know what? You've got no fucking right to say anything. You're speaking to every one of these fucking players in this change room, trying to get them out of this club, and you're fucking having to go to us for not playing right. So do us a favour and fuck off." I'm like that. No, but that's the way. That's the way that he was. He's just a rat. He's just an absolute rat, and he's probably one of the. I'm grateful that he got me at Ensford, because that's my second home. Ensford. That is my second home. I've got Baseford, and then I've got Ensford. But you know the way
thing is, Kieran, the fans there. I've said this on a couple of podcasts. Ensford fans are brilliant, and this will be a big shock to them. I'm assuming, because I didn't know about it. You know, and you always get to wear like little loopholes and little hearsays there and there. I never knew. I mean, I don't know Gary, so I can't comment on him. But the supporters are surely going to be shocked at this. Surely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that in the past, just to make this aware, before Keenan and not Kel, Keenan, Deeks and Jew come in. You know, there's a lot of things that the fans got let down by, and just the wool pulled over their eyes, and we was left to as players to deal with the shit essentially. And you know, we couldn't say anything, not allowed. You know, I mean, the club nearly sold their ground to an app.
Wow.
So they.
How did this come about?
They were selling up, and it was an app called My Football. And if they bought it over, you was able to download the app, pay £10 a month, and you could pick the team, and you could choose the subs in the game. So there was one deal fell through with them, and there was a couple of days from signing it, and it come out that they was fraudsters. And then they went missing. The app went down. There was 2 days away from signing it over to an app where people can pick your team, vote which players you want in their position, and make your subs. That was pricey all over. Quick sale, don't care. I want to get out. That was it. And that's the only vibe I got. I've seen him 4 or 5 times, only when it was FA Cup or FA Trophy.
I think one of the big things we see is that the regulations between what you get in the top 92 to then below that are just completely different, aren't they? And I think Toofy mentioned this on our podcast with him. You've got regulations when it comes to buying like a League 2 team. You've got to pass a fit and sustainable board, whereas I'm assuming that's not the case in.
No,
only it's just a case of you got enough cash.
Yeah, it's just a case of putting in an offer, signing the contracts, and away you go, like. And
Probably easier to buy a club than it is an house.
Yeah, I mean the owners at Ensford now, absolutely top class, by the way. They couldn't do enough for me. The gaffers at Ensford, like, I think I pushed my move too much in the second half. You know, I don't think I made the gaffers knew about me and what I was about, but it was just a massive change in the kind of. I said this to the gaffer. I was like, I don't think I can cope with the system and how technical it is and how technical they are. That it just didn't suit my game at all. And I worked really, really hard, to be fair. I was working hard because that's the stand I want to be at, and it didn't work out. And it kind of just like hit me a little bit, and I'm like, and I took a step back. I'm like, I probably rushed it. I probably rushed my move too much. Didn't really get to know the gaffers, and I've got a lot. To be fair, I got a lot of respect for them, even though like people on the outside is like, oh, he plays in that position, he plays in this position. End of the day, I know it. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't given a chance. I can say that, and he agrees. But at the same time, they're there on a 3-year deal, trying to do the best for a club, which I do respect. I don't disrespect the club because of what happened with me and Gaz. I don't disrespect what happened with Keenan and the gaffers. I think it's just a case of this second time I rushed it too much and thought, you know, I was in a place where I went and I signed and I went to do a photo and the fucking shirt didn't fit. You know, I've got lads coming in on 6 packs and I went, oh man, in God, like, you know, and that was the time where I went on the keto diet and everything was just coming into place. But I think I rushed it too much. I don't think mentally I was ready for being in that league again, and physically I weren't ready.
What did you have a good relationship with the fans then, Ensign?
Oh yeah, love them to bits. Like, yeah, they've got a lot of time for them. You know, obviously what they hear. You know, I've got nothing against the club. It's more personal. My problems with Hensford, and it's not against the club because the club want to do its best. The club's got all the right foundations to go in the right way.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Keenan, Drew, and Deeks, they're going to do everything right. You know, they have to get their own philosophy and system into place for the club to be right. They've only been there since the start of the season, so you know, I'm hearing get the gaffers out, getting these out. End of the day, they've got to cement their own philosophy at a club before we can start saying, let's get them out, give them a chance. You know, this league they're in, by the way, is hard. Like, it's a tough league. And I was talking about it the other day on the bus. Like, these big brutes, like the big lads that play in this southern section, you know, and it is a tough league to get out of, and it's not going to happen overnight. And essentially, they're restarting again with new owners, you know, new players. I don't know what the budget is, I'll be honest with you, but you know, everything's starting again. So the fans need to give the managers a chance, even though these players coming and going. They just let the captain go. But you know, these might be personal decisions. You know, these shouldn't be aimed at the gaffers. And yeah, the fans need to give them a chance before, you know, we start saying gaffers out, because they are doing the best and they're working their arse off, especially with the academy and the first team. So they're putting the hours in. They're not just coming in, picking up a wage and leaving. They are trying the best. So.
If Gary Haywood at Buxton offered you £1,000 a week, would you take it?
He rang me when he got rid of me, by the way.
No, at Buxton, if he offered you £1,000 a week at Buxton now, would you take it?
Kiss him. Football's a fickle game. Football's a fickle game. You know that. There's generally, I'd go there. I won't respect him. Won't respect him at all. I won't give. I'd respect Wardy. I think Wardy's a great gaffer, you know, and I won't respect him. I'd do it for the family. I'd think more of the family rather than Gaz. I think I'm doing this for us.
You mentioned it earlier on. Football's not a long career. You've got to get in and what you can and get out.
I'll always remember we're a business. I'm a business. I'm an item. I'm a business. Fucking no loyalty. There's no loyalty in football. And I learned that at Hansford. There's no loyalty in football anymore. It's not like it used to be when I was at Belper, and I found that connection with the gaffer, which we've just changed. To be fair, we've just changed gaffers at Baseford and Cliffy. I know well, and I know him on a personal basis as well. So I'm looking for, and obviously Liam Earns come back, and I was with Hernsey when I first went to Baseford. So I'm very, very settled now, and I'm probably the happiest I've been at this level and the fittest. And we've got a great bunch of lads now. It's just about we're going through a run at the minute. And it's just like sometimes we can't buy a goal. You know, it's been cleared off the line. We're nearly there. We're just going through that run. But a transition in the club, the owner's selling up. So it's a case of let's see who comes in. Let's see where he wants to go with the club, and then we'll progress to where we need to be. At the minute, there's a 5-year plan in place to get to the conference, and obviously with him leaving, it's going to take a massive knock. So we've got to find out as players where we're going to be, where our future is going to be at. We've been reassured. You know, we're bringing players in, bringing physios in. So the club's not just gone like that pop. It's not going downhill. We still want to get to the playoffs. I mean, we're really 10 points off. So it's not a massive deal. So we're just going to try and win as many games as possible, really. Starting with Saturday, which is Gainsborough.
Is there any more Gary Haywoods that you've come across?
I was about to say Blackwell, but he was my manager at Blackwell. Managers. Any more managers?
Players, managers.
Just rat-like people. So you'd say, if anybody's watching this at your level, if there's a chance to play with that guy, don't do it.
Yeah, obviously Froggy Rangers again. One of my best pals of football. We scored 40 goals at Handsworth together in one season. Never got promoted. Tadcaster, we finished on 97 points. Didn't get promoted. Tadcaster won 4. It was when Lee Andrew and Stuart Andrew were playing for him. So Froggy, I said I'd go and play for him, but it just wasn't right. Staveley isn't a right club for where I want to be and how they want to progress. It wasn't right. And I was honest with him. Grantham rang me up in pre-season. I put that down quickly. Honestly, terrible. I was there for, what was I there for? 36 hours? 40 hours?
Wow.
Stepped out on the pitch, promised myself I'd never step on it again. But now I'm in the league and I'd have to. Who else rang this?
Who spoke to you at Grantham, Carlton?
No, not that dude. No. What's his name? Chaz Colliver. He's at Ossett now.
Yeah,
when he was there. Oh, it's great, mate. You know, it's lovely. The pitch is beautiful. Oh, it's Grantham Bow. What a shithole. Absolute wind turbine. You can offer me £1,000 for Grantham and I will say no to that, baby.
Hey, listen, I've got a good relationship with Grantham supporters. I like him. And I don't mind the ground. I know there's got a big track round it, but listen, you can't slag Grantham off.
I just did. Deal with it.
I know, but I can't because I do love him.
Yeah, because you want a job there. Go on, next question.
All right, then, Kieran, this is an opportunity now for you to let anything out the bag. What is it? What do you want to get off your chest? What do you want to say out loud? Is there something that needs to be said about someone or something?
Justice for Wells at Hensford. I've said about, you was recorded when I said about Scott, didn't you?
Yeah, about Scott getting you sent off.
Yeah, good. So
Could you try again?
No, I'm talking. Sorry,
Man just did the same thing, exactly the same thing.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
There we go, mate. I've had one of them moments now.
Here's one. Just who's the better player, you or Brad? By the way, that's his brother.
Oh God, Brad! Jesus Christ, mate. Technically, oh God, everyone asks me this, and I'll just say it straight away. Brad, I'm crap, right? Compared to Brad, I'm crap. Yeah. Without me head in, Scott, I'd be virgin. I'd be virgin, mate. No, Brad. The problem is with Brad, like he could have been a player, could have been for me, could have been a professional. But his mentality and his passion wasn't there. And my dad always says, if I can swap his feet work with your passion, you both would have made something. You both would have made something. We just got different attributes. Brad's very harsh on himself for me, you know. He's very harsh on himself. He's loyal to people he shouldn't be loyal to. He goes back to people that's messed him up. And he, you know, make no calls about it. I want to get into baseball. You know, I want to get into baseball. I'd love to. You know.
Right. Last question. Who's got the biggest nose? You or your brother?
Are you laughing at?
I can see a bit of calm down. Jesus.
No. Again, we kind of got different attributes. So Brad's got a big nose, and I got the big feet. You know. Honestly,
brilliant.
It's been terrific. It's been terrific, this has.
Nah,
Matt, wrap it up, brother.
Nah, this has been mint, honestly.
Wrap it up.
Didn't expect it. Honestly, didn't expect
No,
it.
it has been fascinating. It's been fascinating.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
respected every single bit
just a
of it.
life of a semi-pro fucking footballer that's still got years to go. Fucking hell.
Well, this is it. I said to Scott when he asked me to get on board with the podcast, I said I just like talking about football, to be fair, regardless whether it be someone at step 15 like me or somebody who's played at the highest level. I couldn't give a fuck because I enjoy talking about the football and understanding what you go through on a daily basis. A key point for me from this, a highlight for me, was seeing how happy and bubbly he was and then being able to take it back to part that was dark and then come back again. You know, it's a credit enough for people to take something from that within this. So I want to thank you for coming on, sharing your stories. It's been a pleasure. I know you're probably not a fan of series talk, but you know it's been decent. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot,
mate.
Scott. Thanks, Sam. Anybody
Brilliant.
who hasn't watched any of our episodes before, if this is maybe the first time we've tuned in, the links are in the bio for our link tree where you can check out our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, our Instagram, anything like that. Jump on board, or YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe, please, and get the retweets in. Much appreciated. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks, Kieran. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Sam.
Take care. Cheers, Kieran.
Thank you.
Top
See you in a
man.
bit.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Scott.
Take care, pal.
Thanks a lot.
Love you lots. Take care.